organic webbing shooting straight out of Peter Parker's body, the Hulk going full savage mode in the middle of a Manhattan apartment, a telepath body hopping through New York City, and the Punisher babysitting MJ. That's exactly what's floating around the nerdy MCU interwebs at the moment because of a leaked Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer that happened sometime last week. And everyone, possibly myself included, is arguing about who Sadie Sink is going to play. So I'm just going to plant my flag here. I believe that she's Jean Grey. And if that is the case, and if I am right, that is probably the most exciting thing that this movie has going forward and what Marvel is setting up for in terms of the mutant saga going forward. So stick with me in this video and I'll show you everything that you need to know about why I believe Jean Grey is literally around the corner and what we can expect inside a Brand New Day for Spider-Man. Salutations and fist bumps, folks. Welcome back to the grid. Now, spoiler/leak alert before we go any further. Everything we're talking about is all speculation and coming from a watermarked trailer leak that's happened again sometime last week. But the official trailer is supposed to be dropping sometime in the next few days, probably tomorrow. So, as you could probably guess, I'm not going to play any of the stolen footage for you. We are just going to talk about this like grown folks. And again, the actual trailer is possibly set for either later today or tomorrow. So, without further ado, we have a whole lot to talk about and not a lot of time. Let's ride. I want to make sure that you hear the word reportedly stamped on each and every one of these. So it seems as though Peter's powers are mutating. He goes to put on those web shooters and they somehow blast clean off of his wrist. Because, again, at least from what we've seen in the previous trailer, now everything is supposedly going completely organic from his body. But a quick grid egg for you here, the organic webbing isn't even inside of the comics. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko gave Peter mechanical shooters in the comics. Specifically, the organic stuff came from James Cameron's Spider-Man movie that never got made back in the 90s. And Sam Raimi kept it for the Tobey Maguire films. So this is Marvel finally putting that inside of the canon. Then reportedly he takes that problem to Bruce Banner,
Is mutating. It would be enormously dangerous.
who is apparently teaching at a university now and walking around with a gamma inhibitor on his wrist. And again, reportedly there's a line where Banner actually says, "If you see me without this thing, run." Foreshadowing, we're playing on the left side of the MCU. Absolutely, because later our mystery villain somehow gets inside of Banner's mind and then forces the Hulk out against his will. Throw in Peter crashing into a fancy dinner party, a citywide blast that freezes everybody in place, the Punisher protecting MJ, and a stretch before the fight joke because Peter's not in high school anymore. And that, my friends, is the leaked trailer. On paper, seems to be stacked. But here's where I want to kind of draw a line or live for just a moment. The body hopping, the citywide mind blast, and the fact that she's already confirmed for Avengers Secret Wars, that is Jean Grey showing her power around New York City. Now, in my opinion, you don't cast someone like Sadie Sink, hide her face in every single shot that we've seen so far, and then carry her all the way into Secret Wars for a one and done. That's a cornerstone. To me, that seems like Marvel is literally pitching a tent and letting us know that we're getting a cornerstone Omega level mutant in this movie. Now, as per usual, I know the comments are going to come with a bunch of other names. So let me give some credence to that and then also still tell you why I believe she's still going to be Jean Grey. Now, Hope Summers, good call. She's a trigger for mutations. And this movie seems to be about mutations starting to kick off. Then there's Rachel Summers, which a recast here in terms of age could work. Typhoid Mary, that Kingpin and Punisher connection is clever here, and I'll give you that one as well. But in my opinion, every single one of those would be Marvel playing it safe. And dropping Jean Grey, one of the most important mutants that they have in the arsenal, right before the mutant saga, again, to me, that seems like it would be a swing for the fences pretty much. And lately, they need that. Now, here's the part that I really want to drill into because it has me pretty hyped in terms of what could be later on. I don't really even think she's the real villain here. I think that the trailer or trailers is cut to make her look like the villain, but actually she's just a scared young mutant running for her life. And Peter is the only one that has a clue about how that feels because he's been doing something similar with his powers and trying to hide them as well. And if that is what this is, in my opinion, that would be a beautiful way to introduce Jean Grey and the entirety of the mutant saga, and especially if they're also going to play up the part of mutants actually being hunted inside of the actual world physically. That would be beautiful to see on screen. But then there's a wrinkle on the fact that Peter is actually immune, which is actually kind of shown in the first trailer when he's talking to one of the bigwigs in terms of hunting for mutants. Now, there's one detail that, at least in my opinion, nobody is really talking about or connecting. And I know that it lives on the left side of the MCU. I get it. But in the leak, the damage control bigwig tells Spidey, you're the only one who's immune and the only one who can sense it. Now, of course, you would probably chalk that up to spider sense, but here's again a fan theory from the left side of the MCU. But remember when Peter's hand went black in the first trailer? To me, that seemed like a huge cry for symbiote actions. And in the Poison X comic run, Venom was straight up immune to telepathy, and he even warns Jean Grey about it. So what if it's not spider sense protecting Peter's mind, but it's Venom? To me, that one idea ties immunity and symbiote behavior together in a bow. But I can't end this video without leaving you with this one question that has plagued me throughout the entirety of planning this video. How do these trailers keep leaking? This isn't necessarily a hack. I'm just going to say it. The way that these things get worked, the studios send these out to dozens of competing trailer houses that will actually cut up everything and make it palatable for the audience. Now, that's possibly over 1,000 editors touching this thing. And you mean to tell me that somewhere between this place and the finishing house, it just walks out the door? Like nobody has anything locked down with cybersecurity or nothing like that? But here's the biggest thing that has me puzzled. Sony isn't really directly taking it down as much as things were hit really hard with Avengers Doomsday trailer leaks and stuff like that. Those things were taken down within hours. So is this a play by Sony because they have rights to do so, that they're just leaking things to possibly make everything a little bit easier for them in terms of marketing because they know that we are going to talk about it? But that's why I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think inside the comments. I'm really curious to know how everybody's feeling about this because, again, it feels like they're actually doing this. And if you think that I am completely wrong on the Jean Grey situation, again, leave that down in the comments as well. Love to discuss all this and talk about it. But until next time, until next video, y'all be smooth. Blurt out.